Yeah. Yeah. My peoples, my peoples. I'm all about the green. Welcome, 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 welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all feeling today? Mark Stone, what's good? Love to see when my IG viewers come in nice and early. How you feeling? Shout out to everybody that's pulling up on YouTube. You know we dual streaming as always. I am your boy, Ceddy P. Artist manager, owner of Renaissance Music Records. Playlist curator, that is. A number of topics, but number of jobs. But above all, I'm your boy, true player and friend. And we here again. Have another good episode of Keepin It Playa. If it's your first time at the Playas Circle, do me a favor and drop the emoji I'm all about the green. Hope y'all had a great week. Hope y'all been getting to the bread. Hope you've been keeping your spirits high, because that's what it's all about. This one's for the family. We got a great episode for y'all tonight. We're going to get into it in just a minute. Let my peoples pulls up. You got to let your peoples pull up. You know what I mean? It's only appropriate. Been a lot going on. A lot going on, man. My YouTube people pulling up. I gotta figure out, man. I can never see my. We're gonna go ahead and get into the episode. You know what I mean? Because I always want to make sure I don't have y'all waiting and BSing. But yes, I'm here. You look behind you. Stop talking crazy. If you are new to the chat, y'all do me a favor. Drop the emoji with the sunglasses in it. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all subscribe. We're going to go ahead and get into it. You know what I mean? Do what we got to do. Tonight's episode is appropriately titled, The New Monaleo Record Sounds Like Freestyle Unity. Love it. Love it. Shout out to all my youngins who don't know about Freestyle Unity. Shout out to all my millennials who know about Freestyle Unity. Yo, it used to be a sitcom on television. It's still on. It's still in syndication, but it's called The Parkers. Shout out to the comedian Monique. But The Parkers used to be hilarious. They used to be a mother-daughter combination, and the daughter, Kim Parker, she was in a rap R&B combo known as Freestyle Unity, and they used to have some low key. They used to have some bops. They probably had the best bops on best sitcom bops. If I'm keeping it all the way funky. But this new record from Monaleo featuring Tizo Touchdown, it definitely sounds like it definitely sounds like a song from the Parkers. It sounds like Freestyle Unity. Bring back, shout out my boy T. What y'all talking? They said, "What's my favorite song? What's my favorite song out right now?" Damn. Obviously, I gotta start with my boy Cheek the Prophet, that Rebel in the Night, and then outside of that, new songs I'm listening to. I have been listening to. Dang man, you bringing my segment up early. Um, but I've been listening to that new Tierra Whack, which I'll highlight again later on. But there's a couple of records out here. My favorite song of all time, that's a little difficult. Chat, if you on the IG, the YouTube chat, ask me what's my favorite song. My favorite song of all time, that's kind of tough. It might be "We Gonna Make It" by Jadakiss. That's just off the quick fast. Obviously, I love Mary J. Blige. You know what I mean? So that all that I can say. My old lady used to say, "You knew I was in a bad mood if I started playing Mary J. Blige." But she was wrong. The Mary J. Blige keep your boy sane, keep me in a good space, cause you gotta believe. I got a lot, man. That's hard. That's a hard question to ask. But still, I rise. Let's get into the show. What did y'all get into this week, man? The first full week of June. My June, I ain't gonna hold you. My June started off with some ups and some not so ups. I don't like to say downs, but god damn. Um, we're actually, and you guys, the players and baddies will be excited to know we are, redesigning the Renaissance office. Got a room in the crib, about to redesign, turn that into an office, and that's probably gonna be the new streaming location. Gotta get it, gotta get it spiffy. You know what I mean? Get us a little Keepin It Playa sign in the back. You know what I mean? Get some wall art. Y'all know how the streamers be having it. So we're working on that now. So I'm really excited about that. That's gonna look good. Get y'all a new backdrop, something new, something exciting, something fresh. You know what I mean? I always wanted to have an office slash, which and in certain times can be converted to the man cave. But you really got to keep it the office, because that means you mean business, which is the most important thing. But what I will say is that I think Tiffany Turner, what's good? Shout out to everybody on the YouTube side joining in. If you're new, y'all know what to do. Drop that emoji with the sunglasses. Make sure you subscribe too. You gotta subscribe, like the live too. We running this up, man. We trying to turn up. I need y'all to be locked in with your boy. And y'all, if you new, let me know where you from too, cause we international. We had Denmark in here last week. I'm trying to find new places to travel, baby. See all the Renaissance people, all the new Renaissance fans. Top of the world. Yo, we on top of the world. Now, as I was saying, tonight's episode, the new Monaleo record sounds like Freestyle Unity. If you've never watched the Parkers, go watch the Parkers. Or go on your TikTok, go on Instagram, search Freestyle Unity, the Parkers. Get them old school bops. And around and round, around and round. Mama killed him. This wasn't really a Freestyle Unity song, but I remember when Kim joined the choir, or Nikki Parker was leading the choir, and Kim was the soloist. She said, Kim, go ahead and sing Mama's favorite song. She said, shake your booty all night. I'm like, what? Y'all crazy. Carol in here acting crazy. What's good, Carol? Top of the world. Yeah, we on top of the world. But yes, I'm really excited for this new office. I'm really excited to get that set up, new color scheme and all that kind of thing. So y'all look forward to this. Something to switch it up for you every now and again. Outside of that, I've been following the NBA Finals. Game 3 yesterday. The San Antonio Spurs finally winning the game to cut the lead in the series to 2-1. Beating the New York Knicks last night. A rough game. Getting a little physical. In addition to it getting physical, it was physical inside and outside. As apparently the New York Knicks fans have really been on a rampage against their, opponents, and their opponents' fans wearing, memorabilia, paraphernalia in the city. Now, again, some of this could be a little bit manipulated, but it appears that, the Knicks fans are seeing Spurs fans, and this was not just relegated to the finals. They was doing this against my Sixers, too. They would see a fan wearing the other team's jersey, and they going over there starting to, attack them, rip their jersey off and all that stuff, start fighting them. Now, the Spurs fan, I don't know what they got going on in San Antonio, but them Spurs fans was fighting back. They was throwing hands, but it was just too many of them. They ended up getting stomped out. But I respect my boy. He went stone cold on them. Now, this got to stop, though. It's not a good look for the Knicks fans or the Knicks fan base. I got a lot of friends that are Knicks fans, and I would like to hope, I like to believe that if I pulled up in my Sixers jersey, that I wouldn't have to throw hands and beat that ass. It's just too many of them, though, bro. They all outside. You ain't really got a chance. That's why I'm torn, because as a basketball aficionado, I have always wanted to go to Madison Square Garden basketball game. I'm like Jackie Chan. I always wanted to go to Madison Square Garden, but I'm not going there. It's too expensive. The tickets for in the nosebleeds is averaging about $6,000 for the games, and I'm not paying $6,000 to be uncomfortable or to have to fight for my life, aka whoop that trick. Keep your hands to yourselves. Keep your hands to yourselves. Now, this has obviously happened because, New York is not an open carry state. Because all it would take is one. Pow, 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 pow. And I don't even be on that. Y'all know I'm nonviolent. But I ain't going to have you out here going crazy. You know what I mean? I can't even bring the kids to the game because you out here acting crazy. I seen somebody fighting with a bus stop sign. Smack out. I'm like, damn, y'all. That ain't right. It ain't right. But yeah, the Knicks and where's NYPD? Y'all be beating up all the brothers, beating up all my peoples. Where are you at when all this fighting is going on? Do your job. Oh, now somebody needs some help. Now y'all ain't nowhere to be found. All the SVU they watch. They in the game. They courtside. Shout out to my boo, Olivia Benson. You know I don't really deal with the what's that called? I don't really deal with it. She not really milk of magnesia. She like, I don't know, matcha or something. But you know, Olivia Benson, I tell everybody, Olivia Benson, that's she be having me acting like the grandma from Nutty Professor. Remember Nutty Professor's grandma? She's talking about Mike Douglas. Mike Douglas, the only white man that ever make me moist. Gross. I don't know what Olivia Benson got going on, but you know what I mean. But you know me, I stay solid. I'm like Malcolm X. Malcolm X said the only thing I like integrated is my coffee. Damn. Nah, I got to roll with my sisters. That's strictly Olivia Benson strictly for TV. But as I was saying, ain't no police presence. Not when it's needed. I did see some clips of them protecting some Spurs fans though. Them Spurs fans looked as scared as hell to cross the street. They were standing behind the cops. It's crazy that it's gotta get to this. Knicks fans, keep your hands to yourselves. Meanwhile, President Trump messing up the traffic, messing up the flow of the Knicks. Everybody blaming Trump while the Knicks lost. Couldn't let nobody shine, could you? He said, "Oh, they getting too much attention. I'm in." Knicks lose. Man, I know, brother, do something. You better work on that approval rating. Yeah, President Trump showed up at the game, booed unmercifully during the national anthem. They ain't playing that. I'll give y'all credit for that, New York. That's where it stopped. Now, we got a lot to get into. I will say one last thing before we move on, just to give y'all an update, because I got to keep it a hundo with y'all, man. You know, as I said, it was a up and a not so up week for me. This past week, I was at the firehouse. For those who don't know, I'm also a firefighter. And we responded to a fire. And during that fire, unfortunately, your boy got hurt. Your boy was injured. Almost took your boy out. But the Lord covered me. I want to thank everybody that reached out, show love, and check on me. And just make sure, I was good. We still recovering, but we still here. You know what I mean? Which above is the most important thing. One of the baddies hit me up, and I told her she was like, "Oh no, you good?" I said, "Hey, I'm still here, still handsome. Some things will never change." I'm gonna be in my casket. They gonna be like, "The boy look good, casket sharp." I'm like, "Yeah, man, girl, throw them drawers in there." Send me to the Lord in glory. I'm crazy. But let's go ahead and get into the episode. We had a great episode last week. We was talking about my boy X-Pac getting his butt kicked every week. That's why I said everybody keep hope alive, because you ain't never had it as bad as X-Pac. We talked about the shoulder lean and Young Dro. That was another great clip. We also talked about getting the digits. Getting the digits still should be celebrated. Still got to be celebrated. And the Ceddy's recipe from last week, Jet Beauty of the Week. Classics. Classics. But, as I said, let's get into the bald-headed logic. Tonight's bald-headed logic is one that's near and dear to me, and should be near and dear to all the long-standing players and baddies that have been in the Playas Circle for some time. But tonight's bald-headed logic is, you really gotta believe. You really gotta believe. For those that are fans of the show or fans of the Playas Circle brand, you are very familiar with our signature, our catchphrase around here, which is the YGB. You gotta believe. And when we say that you gotta believe is really a mantra to make sure that whatever you are trying to aspire to or achieve in your life, that you know, in order for that to even have an opportunity or possibility, you gotta believe. You gotta have a level of belief that is damn near Draymond delusional. Because in a world in which everybody is looking to present and project their negativity onto you, to doubt and question and nitpick all the things that you got going on, in order for you to make it, you have to have an insurmountable level of belief. And sometimes I don't know if people really, really understand how much belief that is. In the Bible, they talk about the faith of a mustard seed. I don't even like mustard, and I still know that's a lot. You gotta believe. You really, really gotta believe. Because people going to be out here looking at you like, oh, yeah, you doing that? Yeah, cool. How's your little such and such going? How's that going? Oh, yeah, cool. How's the such and and no damn well they not clocked in at all. They not checked in at all to what you got going on. Somebody on Instagram was talking about they don't want to see when you make it. They want to see if you make it. They don't believe. To me, you have to, in a world like that where even some of your closest friends and family may not believe that you really have what it takes to get things done or to, to reach certain levels, you got to have all that on your own. And let me extend that. Belief goes into more than just like, your career goals and trying to, make things happen for yourself. It goes into even your relationships. It goes into your health and your well-being. There's no way to really, really achieve and have success in these different studies and fields if you don't have at first the belief that this really is possible, and that even in the midst of turmoil or challenges that you are going to still get there. You gotta believe, man. I can't stress that enough. Every room that you walk into, it should never be any doubt. You should operate with confidence. Not arrogance, but you got to operate with a strong sense of confidence. So I urge y'all, whatever you working on, whatever you got going on for you, whatever you got going on with your team right now, you gotta believe. The YGB, that shit is real. You gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe that God is walking with you. You gotta believe that even when things don't look so right, that it's gonna even itself out. So make sure you put that mantra on your fridge. You write it in your notepad. You say it to yourself. YGB. Throw them indexes in the air, baby. You gotta throw them indexes in the air. You gotta believe. All right. So take that with you. Hold that near and dear to your heart. Now, let's move on. They was asking about it earlier, but I'm gonna give y'all some new waves, something to listen to. Now, earlier I mentioned the talented, dynamic rapper, hip hop artist, Tierra Whack. Tierra Whack is preparing to release a new project, Wax Museum. Wax Museum. Looking forward to it. But she started out by releasing a new single this past week. And that song was Wax Paper. And first of all, shout out to Tierra. Tierra Whack, one of the most dynamic artists that's really out in the game right now. And I would also go as far as saying, like, in my opinion, highly underrated in the female rap game. She does a lot of things that, damn it, I'm like, oh man, the talent, the creativity. Now, I happen to be honored to know Tierra's manager. I went to school with Tierra's manager. Shout out my boy Johnny Jigger. And as a in passing, I've had the opportunity to see Tierra perform live, and in addition to that, I got to meet her at the Unrivaled game when they came to Philly. But I'm always, as a result of my connection with my boy Johnny, and her talent, I'm always rooting. You know what I mean? Because my song, now, like I said, I gotta keep it real. I'm trying to think when I actually started listening. I know the last project, the Worldwide Whack, that joint was rocking. That's got this the mood swing on there. I'm standing tall like Shaquille. That's my shit right there. And then what else is on there? Chanel Pit is on there. Misbehave is on there. It's a couple of records on there. But that's that mood swings. Mama said she tired of my mood swings. So I'm already excited. I'm already excited for the new project. But yeah, that new song Wax Paper, check that out. Check that out when you get a chance. Now, another artist that I've been checking out, that I'm familiar with, West Coast. But shout out my boy Breyan Bliss. Breyan is a very, very talented artist from out west. And he just dropped a new project titled Crush, new album. And I'm really, really happy to see him get out here make the music, you know what I mean, do his thing. And honestly, the project is smooth. Damn, where's my boy from? I don't know if he from the Bay. I think he from Sacktown. But damn, how did I come into contact with him? We had connected. I had some conversation with him, giving a little bit of my expertise. You know what I mean? But the brother's been really, really blowing up and growing, and I'm happy to see it. The project got some dope records on there, and not to mention he got a couple of my favorite baddies on there. He think he's slick. But yeah, I know he got the record Forbidden Fruit. That's got Byrie on it. And y'all streets know how I feel about Byrie. And that's how you gotta act, you know. But in addition, he's got the record with Tiara Imani. Now, I haven't spoken too much about her, but shorty's dope. She real dope. So I'm proud of my boy. If you get a chance, make sure you go out and check out that new record. For real. Check the new album out. It's called Crush. Damn, I need some water. All right, we gonna hold it down. We do the best we can. But I want to get into one of y'all favorite segments, When I Send You This. Excuse me. When I Send You This, when we highlight a celebrity as if we were sending a photo to the group chat. And obviously, if I send a photo, that has significant meaning. But different meanings depending on what group chat or who I'm sending it to. Am I sending it to the players group chat or am I sending it to a baddie? You know, we've had a couple of other ones in the past. Last week we had Chris Tucker. I think the week before that was James Harden. We done had a couple of good quality When I Send You This. But this week's When I Send You This is Petey Pablo. Gotta bring back the legend. Now, if I send a pic of Petey Pablo to the player group chat, that means somebody in the group chat is acting like a freak elite. Turn your freaky down. Okay? Rhonda, Monique, turn your freaky down. You're doing way too much. I don't need to know that much about you. Now, if I send a picture of Petey Pablo to a baddie of interest, a little bit of a different meaning. If I send Petey Pablo, that means, hey, throw them hands up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your head. Wave it like a helicopter. Act a fool. Take the shirt. If I send the Petey Pablo, come on now. Bum, 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 bum. You know how I be. Say it crazy. But yeah, man. If I send that Petey Pablo, depending on who I'm sending it to, know what's going down, all right? Understand. Now, I want to get into very, very quickly, I want to get into a question. We haven't done questions in a long time. Asking all them questions. Assuming. I haven't done questions in a long time. So I got a question for tonight. Then we'll get into it. What are you talking about? And we'll finish off with Ceddy's Ceddy's recipe. Now, tonight's question, something that I've been wanting to pose y'all for a while. You know, I'm always into trying to advance and improve the black male female relations. Very, very tense right now. All the dumbass posts and podcasts. So tonight, what I present is the question: What is something you wish the opposite gender knew about your gender? What is something you wish the opposite gender knew about y'all? Because I see so much foolishness, as Mary J. Blige likes to say. And I'm like, it's got to be such a disconnect. I would love to know what is something like, and this is more from a space of like, yo, we're actually trying to get on the same page, not the bullshit that we be posting or we be seeing all the time. I think of two things. There's two things I think of when I was just for like introductory. You know what I mean? When you got to get really in a relationship and know somebody to have some more depth. But the two things I wish um, that women knew about our gender as a whole. Not, like I said, it's very difficult because of how things are presented online. But the two things would be, first, that we are not intimidated, scared of, or in competition with women at all. The real man, the man's man, you know what I mean? Just the real solid dude is in no shape or form intimidated or scared or in competition with women. Because we've been taught to stay focused on what we have to do. Now, of course, personas, personalities, attitudes may not mesh, but in all honesty, like, as a man, I welcome a woman that is confident, has her own thing going on, because that means that I can focus on my role and responsibilities in the relationship, in a friendship, courtship, and not have to be, you know what I mean, trying to bring your big ass along for the ride. Never in competition. I think the majority of I, I can speak for myself and the guys that I hang around, the people that I consider friends or real ones. It's like, yo, we trying to be partners. We trying to have a good time. You know what I mean? We trying to grow and be better, black men, and get you know what I mean, have a healthy relationship. You know, get the draws, take trips, care for one another, support each other. That's all, you know. Not necessarily in any particular order. In an ideal relationship for me, if I may, if y'all care, it's like, yo, I want to have somebody that I can laugh with, somebody that I can be myself, but still strive. I ain't trying to be whack. I'm still trying to strive, but be my authentic self in the midst of that. And somebody that, like I said, somebody that I can love. I don't think it's nothing better to me to be able to bring my ass home after putting that work in, come sit down, watch, whatever we want to watch together. Because as long as we doing it together, that's all that matters. We could watch the game. We could watch, your shows. Girls be watching all them damn crime docs and all that other shit. Love Island and all that. But watch the old stick, watch Martin, watch the Parkers, but be able to do it together. Travel, go places, get money, because you got to get money to travel, y'all. We can't be spending all my bread. I ain't got it like that. But we working together, we could do that. I think the other thing that I would say, I wish the opposite gender knew about men is that when a man finds a woman that he's really interested in, he wants to do for her. But he does not want to feel as if it's a requirement or it's a sense of entitlement behind it. I think that's always the biggest thing. When a person, and this doesn't even really fully apply to just women. As a man, if I see if my kids are doing well, you know what I mean, your boy been getting a couple of good some brokering some deals for the Renaissance team, or things is good at the firehouse, they lining up the pockets. Yeah, let's do something. Let's go out. Let's have a good time. But you should not feel like that is an expectation, or you deserve. Deserve is the nastiest word in the English dictionary, because you deserve an ass whooping. If all of us got what we deserve, we be in a very, very warm place. Harlem Cupcake 212 was good. Shout out my peoples. If you new to the Playas Circle, drop that emoji with the sunglasses in it. But yeah, that's to me is one of the main things. I would love to know what some of the things that the women wish we knew. And again, coming from a place of actually trying to connect, not that negative bullshit. We got enough of that online. We got plenty of that to go around. But let's move on. I want to quickly get to our segment winner. What are you talking about? As I've been mentioning already, it's been tons of content and posts surrounding this NBA Finals with the New York Knicks and the Spurs. And, as I mentioned, President Trump was in the building, and as a result of his attendance, comments were made by your boy, Stephen A. Smith, who was not necessarily pleased at Trump's attendance, basically chastising him for one, making it about him, but also causing the city to shut down because of his attendance. They were cutting off, closing streets, and, had a number of restrictions to go to the game because he was in attendance. And as a result, Trump had some things to say. He basically stated Stephen A. Smith is a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But his IQ isn't that high. He basically called you dumb, which is crazy to me. Now, we know Stephen A. Smith to be outspoken, and unfortunately, his outspokenness has resulted in a lot of criticism of people of our color. So a lot of people were online waiting to see how Brother Smith would respond, how Stephen A would respond to the comments. And Stephen A went on First Take and he made some comments. He didn't necessarily, if I'm being fair, he did not really respond in a firm or aggressive manner as he has done in response to LeBron or some of the women in the WNBA or some of his journalist counterparts. I don't want to say I was expecting, but it would have been nice to see him. Somebody call you dumb. Somebody call you low IQ. Get him. Get him. And he took his foot off the gas a little bit. He hit him with a, as my boy Dev liked to say, he likes to recall the episode from the Wayne Brothers. Insecure about your size, you pushed the girls away and ran like a biatch. I was expecting Stephen A. Smith to say a little bit more. He got a little one quick. It was a J. Cole. It was a J. Cole jab. You know what I mean? He made a joke about him sleeping or needing rest. I'm like, who's Stephen A.'s ghostwriter? But then he was just questioning him wanting to see the Knicks win. It's like, bro, F the Knicks. He called you dumb. If somebody calls you low IQ, that is a pure indication of zero respect. And in the person of Stephen A's status and regard, let me say this real quick. We as black people, especially people that make it. Joel, what's good? Quickly discussing this beef between Donald Trump and Stephen A. Smith. But as I was saying, for a number of black men and women who make it, they are challenged with the ability to stand up and speak out vigorously against oppression, against ignorance, for the risk of losing their status. Because nobody want to go back to the, what did he say in next Friday? Back to the ghetto you go. When you don't work your whole life to elevate, they be very calculated and intentional with what they comment on. Some, not all. But Stephen A. Smith, I know that he's the president. I know that, he's a powerful person. But damn it, you have a voice. Don't let nobody say you low IQ like that. And you better get on your show and you better talk about them. That's why your mama got three titties. You gotta say something. My mama loved the joke I said when I was like 9 years old. Yeah, all that's cool. But what you gonna do for a face? What you gonna do for a face when the baboon won his ass back? I don't know why I was talking so crazy. I was at what's that called? Vacation Bible School. Talking reckless. But yeah, I don't like that, man. And with all, I know everybody got their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to vote for who they want to vote for, even though who you vote for says a lot about you in this particular circumstance. But the disrespect, man, that is unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. The lack of couth and professionalism from a damn president. He's the president. Who the kids gonna look up to if the damn president talking crazy? But yo, Stephen A, get him, bro. Get your boy. That's why, man. Hey, man. That's that bull. But anywho, yeah, I saw that. I was not pleased, and I thought that was very very interesting. But what else has been going on? Did y'all see anything that's been catching y'all eye this past week? It's been a lot going on. You know, I haven't had too much to comment on the music side. Lasani 2-3 was good. Shout out to everybody pulling up on the Instagram side. As you all know, we're doing a dual stream with the Instagram and the YouTube. Shout out to all my YouTube followers and viewers as well. But the only thing that I saw that was really interesting that caught my eye on the music side was the interview with my boy Webby. And Webby was talking about how independent wasn't officially it wasn't listed as platinum or gold or platinum, and he was kind of unaware as to why that was the case. He really didn't have too much information on that. And shout out to my boy Brian Sizzle, aka Z from Audio Mac, and he was basically explaining about there's actually a process that needs to take place in order for you to do that. You have to register, you know. I'm looking at some clips. But honestly, y'all, I think, as always, you know, we just wait, staying still. Something will definitely happen for us to be commenting on and discussing soon. I want to wrap up tonight's episode. We can go ahead and lock it in. And if you missed any of the episode, make sure you go on YouTube and catch the replay. We'll be live tomorrow. But we should finish with one of our favorite segments, Ceddy's Recipes. And Ceddy's Recipes is obviously the closeout of the show, which we name a custom or norm or tradition of yesteryear from the black community that we want to maintain and keep the young kids knowing about. And in the past, we've done a number of ones. Last week, I really liked last week's Jet Beauty of the Week, Spades, not splitting the pole, what had happened. We've had a number of great recipes that we got to maintain. But this week's recipe is an article of clothing that we need to maintain in the black community, specifically the black male community. And that, my friend, is the durag. The durag. Now, as a man who is not necessarily no longer in need of a durag, shout out to all my brothers from Black Brothers United and Bald Brothers United. Damn, we should have a black Bald Brothers United. Anyway, getting off topic. Shout out to my brothers from Bald Brothers United. But before, there was a time when the boy's skull was lined with waves, tidal waves, currents, if you will. And in order to maintain all of that fluidity, no freaky, your boy had to follow a very, very strict regimen. Brushing my waves, styling them down, wrapping them at night, and we wrapped them with the durag. Now, so often as we have shifted away from the Caesar and the low cut to a generation of twists and locks, so often these days I go outside and I see young men wearing bonnets. And I'm taken aback because I am from the land in the time of the durag. The durag, not only a tool of maintenance, but a stylish accessory. Shout out to all the brothers, and I gotta give a shout out to my boy BG, not the rapper, BG from Marsville, who consistently styled his outfit with his do-rag. If he's wearing a throwback, the do-rag would match. Red with the Jordan, blue with the T-Mac. Black if he was just wearing the straight black tee, white for the white tee. The brother was guaranteed to have a matching color do-rag. And Brandon was the brother. Gotta give him his credit because he was the OG for your boy. He taught me how to twist and braid that mother in the back. That's when you was really getting somewhere because there was different styles. What kind of style do-rag wearer were you? Did you let the cape fly? Shout out my boy DeMarcus. He would let his cape fly so it looked like he was aerodynamic when we played basketball. Did you braid it? Now me, I didn't necessarily braid. I rolled. I said BG taught the braid, but you roll it and then you tuck. Now me personally, I stuck with the primary colors, black, red, and then shout out to check cashing spot. I started hitting my two-tone. You know what I mean? Started hitting that two-tone on them to color coordinate. But as a result, when I unleashed, who got the we got the nothing but waves. And you had to, bruh, as a young man, pulling up at my own school at Pennsbury High, if I went over when I came back, you know, had games at the Cowwater Park, you know, when I went to school, when it was at Cheney, you had to be right. As an early youth, trying to impress light-skinned Kira with the baby hair, all the way up to my days at CU, you know what I mean? Trying to holler at the model chick. We had names for everybody, but anyway, it was essential that your waves was laid, and you could not achieve that unless you optimize the use of a do-rag. You ain't want to be out here looking like Day-Day with your skull cap on. That was passe. We used the do-rag. So, for tonight's recipe, we celebrate and honor the do-rag. Now, the do-rag came with a lot of challenges as well, because you know we had to face and push back against oppression, prejudice, and stereotypes. You ain't really want to wear your do-rag. You knew if you wore your do-rag outside, somebody was going to be hating. Somebody white was going to be all, you know what I mean, trying to judge you. But we stood tall. We stood unified. And we stood with waves. Low-key, I think my mom used to make me take my do-rag off when I went outside. But when I was, you know, what I mean, went to school. Hey man, I wear my tuck. But shout out to the Durag. Great times. Now, folks, we're going to bring this to an end here. This marks the conclusion of tonight's episode. As always, is nothing but love. And I appreciate y'all when y'all pull up on your boy. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate when y'all pull up. Want to thank y'all. Thank all the YouTube followers and the viewers. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you stay locked in. All my Instagram peoples, y'all know what it is. Nothing but love, all right? But until next time, you know what we do. You got to keep it blessed, keep it real, but always keep it playing. This your boy, Ceddy P.